It's just time. From the day you arrived on the planet, from the moment you stepped into the sun, the sun is it the sun? Rolling high, sapphire sky, something. Okay, anyway. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Homesteading Heart. And yeah, I'm about to do this, baby. Y'all, it's a shame. I know it's a shame. I know it's a shame. You don't have to tell me. I know it's a shame, okay? I already know. All right? But it is time for me to pull up the big girl. Go, big girl, what you gonna do? It's time to pull out the big girl so I can start pressure canning in my 9. I always get these numbers mixed up. One sec. So what I have is a 930. I almost said 941, but I realized like that's the biggest one, and I don't have the biggest one. I have the 930, and this baby holds 14 quarts. I can double stack quarts in this baby. But y'all, Jax be doing the most. But anyway, I have given this baby a good cleaning inside and out. I've cleaned off my lid. Yes, I have. I've cleaned this whole thing. I've cleaned the inside of my canner. I've wiped around the rims and stuff of these knobs right here. And this is just preparing it for canning. I haven't used it yet. So I've wiped all of the, gosh, I forgot what they're called. These little knobs here, but the metal part, you know, that part. I've wiped all of these all the way around, inside and out. I've made sure that my little vent pipe right here was clear and not obstructed in any way. I've just cleaned everything. These are the 2 trays right here that one has to sit in the bottom of the canner. And if I stack my quarts or my pints, this will sit on top of the jars, and then more jars will sit on top of this. For those who are not aware that you can stack in this particular canner because of how large it is. Okay, so I got this together. Now, in this envelope right here, let me open it. This is where my weight is. Told y'all I haven't opened this yet. Okay, so this is my weight. And my weight, you could see here, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, and 15 pounds, okay? So depending on your altitude, that will determine which side of this weight you will use. So for me, I would use 10 pounds of pressure. So here's my 10 right here, and there's the hole underneath. So after this would vent during the canning process for 10 minutes, then I would come and put this weight on the 10-minute side, okay? So that is that. And this has been cleaned now. And this is all, again, prepping for canning. So just to start off, the first thing you're going to want to do is clean this baby good, all right? You want to clean it inside out. You want to clean around here. You want to clean all of these off, because you never know if you're getting a brand new All-American canner You don't know if there's any metal shards or that could be attached to this during the process of manufacturing. I know they clean it off, but just to be safe, I would get a paper towel with a little dish soap or something on it and just go around each one of those just to be clear that, or just to be certain that this is clear of any debris. Okay, so I got my little paper towel here with some soap, and I'm just going around this right here and just making sure that there's nothing on the threads of this. Okay, that's all, just like so. And that's it. Now, of course, mine was clean because I've already cleaned it. And then I wiped around this rim right here, inside and out. I should have showed you this part, shouldn't I, from the start? But I did. That's okay. I'm showing you now. And then around the rim of this lid, because remember now, this canner is all metal to metal. There is no gasket. There's no rubber gasket. This is metal on metal. Okay? So this needs to be clean. Okay? And once it's clean, throw that away. Then I just went around and dried it. That's all. Just go around and dry everything. And after you can with this, you want to do the same thing. You want to keep this canner clean, okay? The cleaner you keep it, the longer it will last you, okay? That's with anything, right? When you take care of anything, it lasts you a lot longer than it would if you just tossed it to the side as is after using it, right? So if you take care of it, it will take care of you, okay? So now this is dry all the way around. Now, put that right there. Let me tell you something else I'm going to be keeping inside of this canner here. Bam! If you own an All-American, or if you're thinking about owning an All-American pressure canner, this stuff is going to be your best friend, okay? Now, after consulting with those who own this canner, they do not use oil. Many of them, the majority of them, do not recommend using any kind of oil. No corn oil, no canola oil, no olive oil, none of that, okay? The majority of the people that I have talked to or watched that owns this canner, they all use petroleum jelly, okay? Because they say it works best. This stuff ain't but $1, right? Save your cooking oil for cooking. This stuff is $1. Buy it, or maybe depending on where you locate, it might be $1.50, but so it lasts you for a long time because you don't use that much of it. But I'm going to take this, and when I'm not using my canner, I will store this inside of my canner along with all of the other components that go with this canner, so I never have to look for this when it's time for me to prepare my canner for canning. Now, so now you all, to get this canner ready for canning, I'm going to put a little of this on my finger, and I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this around the rim of my canner, okay? And I'm going to do it until I'm happy. I don't know how much this is going to be, but until I'm happy that this metal will not stick, I'm going to do it till I'm happy. Now, turn it on around. I know. I just want to make sure. This is my first time using this canner. I got to be certain that, because I'm going to tell you something. My friend in DC, when she bought her first All-American canner, I don't know if she didn't oil it properly or what happened, but the lid got stuck and she couldn't get that joker off. She had to send it back and get another one. She couldn't get it off. So, now, on the inside, because remember this is metal to metal, this sits, hold on. Wait a minute, there's a notch right there. Okay, here it is. Come on. Okay, this sits inside of this canner. So I've oiled this part right here, but I'm also going to go around the inside of my canner and do the same thing. Right where that lid meets. I'm going to do the same thing in this canner because I don't want to have any problems. And it even has some grooves in here too. But yeah, it even has some grooves in here that might be a little too fine for you to see. Now, at least this way, I am making sure that when this metal meets this metal during that pressure canning process, that this will not get stuck and all my good stuff is locked inside along with the water in the canner. That's a heavy canner, right? So I ain't going through all that. So I'm going to make sure that I oil this baby good. And like I say, until I'm happy. And I'm happy. Okay. So now, all right. Okay, so now that my canner, see, the lid is on. And yeah, it slides off pretty easy, so that's good. Okay, you all, one of the things that I forgot to mention when you are getting ready to use this canner, once you put the Vaseline around the lid and on the inside of this canner, before you put your lid on, take note of this arrow right here on the canner, okay? On the lid, I mean. And there's a notch here on this canner, right there. That's where you line that arrow up at when you put this on, okay? So when I put my lid on, I'm looking for the arrow and that notch. And I'm going to drop it down right there. And then I'm going to turn the handle to lock this into place. And hopefully, there we go. Now, it also has these little clamps right here. Let me see if you can see them. These little clamps right here. Turn off my teeth. When I put it on, I'm just making sure that this lid is on all the way around. Okay? And then I am going to turn this into place so that this clamp right here, locks into place, okay? And that is in place all the way around on this canner. Now, locking these wing nuts into place. You want to lock them in place on opposite sides. So, when I lift this one up right here, I'm going to grab the one opposite of it here. And I am going to twist them at the same time to lock this canner. I'm not grinding down on them. I'm just getting them into place. Then I'm going to grab these right here. These are opposite. And I'm just going to turn them until they're kind of snug. Whoops. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this side right here. I got to, okay, there we go. Man, this thing here really loose. Now I'm going to go back and tighten them on the opposite sides again. Okay? Because we want to make sure we lock this baby into place. All right? Okay. So now, these nuts here, wing nuts here, are holding this lid on this canner. All right? And it is locked into place all the way around. I'm happy with that. Okay? So make sure that you take special note of that. Now, what I forgot to mention is that locking these wing nuts, putting these wing nuts on here, before you do that, I'm going to say, grab just a little bit of this petroleum jelly and also put that around the thread area of these wing nuts as well. Okay, just get it all on there. Okay, and that's just for me, that's just making sure that all of these points here are lubricated, because again, this is metal to metal and I would just rather be safe. You probably don't have to do it, but hey, I just want to be safe. I want to make sure that my canner is going to be okay, all right? So I'm going to even put a little bit of that petroleum jelly on the threads and the, let me show you. Now, see, you got the threads right here. Then you have just that plain little metal right there. And I'm just going to put a little bit underneath it and around it too, if I can, you know. But that's what I'm doing. You probably don't have to do that, but I'm doing it. That's good. So now, I believe I'm ready. Now, I have my instruction manual here. I'm going to go through this manual one more time before I put this baby on the stove, I mean. I'm going to go through my canner once more. Put this to the side. Is that? Yeah, I got grease on the counter. But anyway, I'm going to set this to the side. I even have an instructional DVD, okay? So I'm going to review these things once more. And then, y'all, I'm going to take y'all along with me for that very, very, very first run of my pressure canner. And remember I said I was going to just put water in it? I'm going for it. I'm going to just do it. So, y'all, we about to get this show on the road. Now, what I'm going to be canning first, I'll show y'all that in the next video, because we're going to do this. We're going to do this. So now, I'm excited. I got to admit, I'm excited. But if you get an All-American, please, when it comes to properly maintaining it, read the manual, okay? Make sure you clean it well. Make sure your little vent pipe is clear before you use it, okay? Make sure that you check with your extension office to determine what your altitude. Yeah, if you don't know, I get a lot of emails from people not knowing what their altitude is. Check with your extension office. There are extension offices all over this country. So for your area, check with your local extension office to see what your altitude, your canning altitude is, because it's going to vary depending on where you're located. Depending on how many feet above sea level you are, it's going to vary how much weight. Wait. Here we go. How much weight you're going to need for canning. Okay? So for me, it's 10 pounds. For you, it may be 5. It may be 15. So you need to check with your extension office, okay? All right, so now, put this back on here so I don't misplace it for now. Now, this gauge right here, there's nothing I have to do. There's nothing you should have to do either to this gauge. This gauge should come functioning. All right? Now, because of the times that we're in, I would recommend ordering additional pieces for your All-American canner. I would order an extra weight. I would order an extra gauge. I would order some of these knobs right here, some extra knobs. I would order those, and if you need to, I would order an extra one of these, okay? Or 2, whatever you want to do. But I would have some extra components on hand just in case you're not able to get them for a very, very long time. At least you'll have some backup, all right? So I think my canner is prepped. I think my canner is ready to get started. Yeah. And water levels in the canner as well will vary depending on the kind of canner you have. But read the manual so that you'll know how much water you need to add to this canner for safe processing. You do not want your canner to ever run dry. Not only can you ruin the product inside, but you will ruin your canner. Never allow it to run dry. So be certain that you are putting the proper amount of water in your canner. And the only way to know that is to read the instructions. Okay? All right. All right, y'all. She's ready. I'm going to change her name. I just haven't decided what name. I had came up with a name, but I'm going to go with something different. I just haven't made a decision. But I'm going to be naming this girl in the next video. All right, y'all, that is going to do it for this video. I just wanted to let you know we about to get this party started. Presto has been moved to the side, and All American is now front and center. All right, y'all, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. If you have your All-American pressure canner, let me know what you think about it in the description box below. I would love to know which one you have and what you think of it. I know, right? This is the canner of all canners. This, come on now. This that Cadillac, right? Right? This that Cadillac. The one you have to play more bounce to the ounce to while you canning, right? Dun, 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 right? You got to play that while you canning, right? Because you got that going on. I'm going to leave y'all alone. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Oh, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos that we upload to our channel. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. I'm excited. I bet you can tell. And I will see y'all in the next video. Yep. Dun, 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 dun.